All right. What's going on? What's going on? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Gamecock Nation, how y'all feeling? How are y'all feeling? That is right, man. It's August 31st. Just can't seem to get here fast enough, man. I am so excited, ready to kick off the 2024 South Carolina Gamecocks football season. I hope you guys are well. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the defense. The defense spoke today. Yesterday was the offense's turn. A lot of the offensive players got to speak to the media. Today, it was the defense's turn, right? So we got to hear from several Gamecocks, Bo Kaba, Bam Martin Scott, Gilbert Edmond, Brian Thomas Jr., DQ Smith, Jalen Kilgore, Judge Collier, and the kicker, William Joyce. So we got to hear from the defense and one specialist today. So be sure, if you guys feel inclined to, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you like Gamecock content. Do that for me. It is greatly appreciated. I'm going to still keep pumping out the videos regardless. So let's get back into it. Like I said, the defense had their turn today to speak to the media. They had availability today after practice. Like I said, Mo Kaba, he was one of the first ones I watched because, last year he suffered a season-ending knee injury. I believe it was in the first game against North Carolina. So, really didn't get to see Mo last year. And I'm praying for this young man. I'm praying that he has a very healthy and successful season this year. They spoke to him a lot. They asked him a bunch of questions about his health and how he's feeling and things like that. And he basically said he's been working hard, rehabbing, doing what he needs to do, knowing when to stop, knowing when to push it and when not to push the limits on his knee injury that he's recovering from. He said one of the big things was he wanted to make sure he didn't quit. He never thought about quitting. He knows he's got to compete for a spot because, like I said, last year was a wash. He didn't get to play, so he knows it's a competition, just like any other spot on the roster. So he said he's looking forward to that in the first scrimmage of the season. So, like I said, I'm praying for this young man. I hope he has a very successful year this year. Then I listened to Bam Martin Scott. He's dealing with a hamstring, little flare up, so to say. He's what he said. He got that basically putting in some extra work before fall camp season started. Last year, Bam Martin Scott had some great games. Right, last year he did some good things for the Gamecocks, especially when they transitioned to the 3-3-5 defense. And he spoke in length about how comfortable he is, in the 3-3-5, being able to play, out in space. So excited for him. Hopefully we'll see more of the 3-3-5 this year, and we get to see some of his talent get showcased out on the field. And then after that, I listened to Gilbert Edmond. I listened to Gilbert Edmond, and then I listened to Brian Thomas Jr., the edge rushers, which, let's be honest, that's one area that was a concern last year. We was dead last in the league in sacks and tackles for a loss. If you watch my South Carolina preview and prediction video, I spoke about that as far as the defense. So they brought back Gilbert Edmond from Florida State. He talked about Coach White's system and how it allows them to produce more, to play freely, and things like that. He talked about how they're going to employ some hockey shifts, I guess, to get more rotations in, because we got depth right now. We got depth along the defense, right? All over the defense. We got good depth. So, doing these hockey shifts that's what Coach Lucas, I think it was, talked about that. He said that he wants to do hockey shifts to get more fresh bodies in there. So we shall see that. We should see that in this season. Looking forward to the rotation, the defensive ends getting switched out more, getting some fresh bodies in there. Both of these young men, Gilbert and Brian Thomas, they both were raving about how freak of an athlete Dylan Stewart is, how big he is, and how fast he gets off the line of scrimmage and things like that. So they were raving about that young man. And, most Gamecock Nation was really excited for him, and we think he's got a bright future in the Garnet and Black, and looking forward to him doing big things this year for the Gamecocks. But Brian Thomas also he talked about adding some weight this year. He wanted to put on some weight, but he didn't really gain. He gained 10 pounds of muscle weight, I guess you could say. He gained weight, but he stayed the same, if that makes sense. basically transferred it into muscle weight. So he added about 10 pounds of muscle. That way, you know, it helps him focus on stopping the run more, getting his body in better shape to take on the running backs, you know, as they're coming downhill, and be able to help stop the run. Because I guess from what he said, Coach White told him basically, you know, that's the one way to see the field, being able to stop the run. So if you can stop the run, get more playing time. So after that, I listened to some of the corners, DQ Smith, Jalen Kilgore, like I said, Judge Collier. Competition is what they mainly spoke about. Jalen Kilgore is working at the nickel right now. Judge Collier, he's competing for one of the cornerback spots. And DQ Smith, like I said, they all talked about competing, right? Competing to get on the field, to solidify their role on the team, competing to get better every day, putting in the work. Talked about the leadership, you know, the younger guys just on the roster, being a vocal leader, taking them under their wing, showing them the ropes, and just being that experienced corner, safety, whatever, to guide these younger players that's on the roster, to bring them along, to help them. You know, like I said, depth and competition is what this team really needs on the defensive side of the ball. And like I said, they talked to there was one specialist out there, William Joyce. They talked to him about, you know, kicking and competition and things like that. He spoke in length about, you know, the competition at kicking. Everybody's been getting a lot of reps, trying to sort out who's going to be the field goal kicker, who's going to have kickoff duties and things like that. Basically spoke, it's all about competition. That's what Beamer's all about. So, but overall, I'm impressed with this, with the media availability today. Listening to these young men talk, seemed like like I said, a lot of talk about competition, getting better. Seems like a lot of optimism on the defensive side of the ball this year from a lot of the players. I haven't heard that much from the coaches, but a lot of the players seem to be high on the defense, seem to think that's the strong suit of this team. We shall see. I hope it is. I hope so, because we need to get better at stopping the run. We need to get better at, you know, sacking the quarterback, getting pressure on the quarterback, getting tackles for loss. We got to do that. We got to improve from last year. So I really don't have no bold prediction for this like I did for the wide receiver video I did yesterday. But just get better. That's what I want to see from this defense. I want to see improvement, like I said, on the number of sacks we have this year versus last year, the tackles for loss that we had this year versus last year. I want to see improvement on the against the run and against the pass, and that, to me, that would be huge, a huge win in my books. But hey, y'all get in the comments, let me know your thoughts. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe like I asked you earlier. Do them things. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video.